Okay, everyone, let's take a look at some more formal idioms. These are some things that we want to get into our essays, help to give us more of that native vibe, if I could call it that. This is something that natives actually do quite a lot. They do put idioms inside, but they are more formal idioms, and they're not the informal idioms like, cup of tea, two birds in the hand with two, one bird in the hands with two in the bush, and so on. So these are a little bit more formal and suitable for task 2 essays. Okay, so we have the first one, green light, which could be a verb and also could be used as a noun. So so we could say, so basically it means to give permission. I think this idiom seems to be a very universal one, which I think it's been translated into so many different languages and cultures. So this is an Arabic idiom, by the way. Okay, so green light is to give permission. Yeah. So let's take a look at the example here from Cambridge. If we can't do this movie for 5 million, the studio isn't going to green light it. So here it's a verb, by the way. It's being used as a verb to green light something, to give permission. Nice and easy to use. I'm sure you'll be able to get some of the formal idioms that I've given you into your essays. And then we have it's used as a noun. Okay. The commission gave us the green light to start negotiations. Okay. They finally got the green light for their project. So basically we're using it interchangeably as permission or give permission. Okay. I know some of you get excited when you learn idioms and you want to use them, but it is good to use them, but we have to be careful that we're not using too many of them, and we'll kind of make our writing a little bit too informal. Okay, we don't want these things to take the place of verbs and other things, but at the same time we want to get some into our writing. So when it comes naturally and you have the real ability to put something without changing the meaning of what you're writing or going off topic or whatever, go ahead, put it there. Yeah, I give you the green light. Okay, so do that, but don't try to force idioms. When I see students trying to force an idiom because they know it, it just doesn't work. It really goes against them, and that might be the thing that really gives them the band 6 instead of band 7 for LR. Don't force idioms. When you know an idiom and it's, you have the place and it's suitable, whatever, do it. 2-3 idioms and 2-3 formal idioms in an essay, fantastic. Even 2 idioms are good enough to really give you that kind of native vibe there. So don't overdo them. Don't force idioms. Don't go off topic just so that you can throw an idiom in there. No need for all that. Okay. So cutting edge. So if something is cutting edge, it doesn't mean it's going to cut you. It means it's the most advanced. Yeah. So something's very advanced. So it could be cutting edge medicine. Could be cutting edge. Usually it's collocated with technology, cutting edge technology, and so on. So the phrase usually refers to science and technology. Okay, Astika. Okay. So the new company I work for is at the cutting edge of medical science. Okay. Yeah. With their cutting edge instruments, so they're very advanced instruments, I think this company is going to revolutionize the field of medicine. So cutting edge, meaning very advanced, the latest in technology. Right. Then we have take something at face value. So if you take something at face value, you just take it and you accept whatever you are told about something without any questions. So no questions asked whatsoever. You just accept whatever they tell you. All right. Here we have an example. I took the offer at face value. So without any questioning or investigating or anything. Yeah. So you just accepted it without any questioning. I took the offer at face value. I didn't think they might be trying to trick me. Then I have follow suit. So follow suit is to do exactly the same as others are doing. Yeah. So what do we have? Follow suit. To do the same as others, especially by following their example. So the people in front of us began to file out of the auditorium, and we followed suit. So we did the same. So it means did the same. After that studio made that hit musical, plenty of others tried to follow suit. So tried to do the same. Okay. So here we have follow in the same pattern. Follow someone else's example from card games. Mary went to work for a bank and Jane followed suit. Now they are both head cashiers. The Smiths went out to dinner, but the Browns didn't follow suit. They stayed at home. Okay, so to do the same, yeah. Cut corners. So cut corners. So cut corners is when you're usually when you're being a little bit lazy, and you want to do something in a quicker, in an easier way. Okay, so maybe by not following the rules, that's a way that you can cut corners. Yeah. So to skip certain steps in order to do something easily or as cheaply as possible. Usually to the detriment of the finished product or end result. So usually when we say, oh, we tried to cut corners or whatever, it's usually something like negative, like like it didn't work out, So it's usually used in a kind of negative context. Don't cut corners on this project. It has to be done thoroughly, no matter the cost. Okay. So don't try to take shortcuts. You have to do everything. If you cut corners and don't apply a top coat, then your nails probably are going to chip faster. So you see here, the consequences are very usually negative when we talk about cut corners. So it's usually a negative thing, not following the rules because you're lazy. It's not usually something that's a positive thing. Okay, just before I finish, let's see what we can do. So we have green light, give permission. Cutting edge, the latest and most advanced. Face value, accept without questions. Follow suit, do the same. Cut corners, to maybe not follow the rules and find the easiest and quickest way of doing something. Okay, let's take a look at these 5 sentences and see what how we can rephrase them. So when the popular students do something, the other students usually do the same. Who can rephrase that?
The other students follow suit.
The other students follow suit. Okay, good. Number two. Number two. If you want this plan to work, you have to follow all the steps and not miss anything. Seema.
If you want this plan to work, you have to accept, you have to take this at face value.
Take at face value is not to question, something and accept it. I don't think that's it. Maybe you mean like if you want this plan to work, you have to, maybe take the rules at face value. Possibly.
Okay, it could be.
Sorry?
Yeah, it can be if you want this plan to work, you have to follow all the steps and without cutting
Without cutting corners. Okay. Okay. So maybe we could say it in another way. Who can think of another way of saying that?
Not to cut corner.
So let's put it into context because I don't just want to say it like that. So let's, full sentences.
Okay.
If you want this plan to work,
we have to follow all the steps and not to cut the corners.
How about saying something like, because here it says you have to, so we can say you can't. You have to follow all the steps and you can't cut corners. Or if you want this plan to work, you can't cut corners. You have to follow all the steps.
And can we also say without cutting corner?
Yeah. You have to follow all the steps without cutting any corners. Good. Okay. Number 3. Number 3. Most people just buy the product without doing any research. So what are they doing here?
Most people just buy the product without looking at face value.
No.
So most people just buy the product at face value.
At face value, yeah. So that's the phrase, yeah. So most people buy the product at face value. So face value, it's at face value is without any questions. At face value. Yeah. So I took the offer at face value. Okay. So it's usually used with take. Take something at face value. Okay. So that's the phrase. Take at face value. Number 4. Fizza, the train uses the latest and most advanced technology.
The train uses the cutting edge technology.
Yeah, so say the train uses cutting edge technology. Okay. Okay. Number 5. The government gave the NHS the permission to start working on the new medicine.
The government gave the NHS green light to start working on new medicine.
Yeah, so we're going to say the green light. Okay, so the government gave the NHS the green light, so the permission. So we're just going to take the word permission and put in its place green light. Okay. Excellent.